Yo, what's going on, guys? Jay here, and today I got the review for you of Welcome to Collegrove by Chainz and Lil Wayne. This is the sequel to Chainz' 2016 studio album, Collegrove, which is kind of a collab tape with Lil Wayne. It's not officially, he's not on every track, but he is on most of them. And this has been a long awaited, highly anticipated sequel. It's been rumored for years at this point, and we finally got it on the road to the Carter 6. Any of you guys who follow me over at Instagram at talking.hiphop may have seen my story where I said that I was excited to talk about this album because it was being very underrated. Upon revisiting it a couple times for review, I wasn't necessarily all right, guys, this is a good album, right? Point blank, this is a good album, but it's not everything it's not quite where I thought it was going to be after sitting with it and digesting it for a while. And an issue with that is that there was potential for greatness here, but instead Collegrove 2 is just good to me, which good is good, right? Good is good, but yeah, let's get into it. Starting off, just talking about the scenes, the little skits. You had scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and these are just kind of fun little, nothing skit tracks where whoever the narrator is of this album, don't know to be honest, is just kind of giving the backstory of Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz as big time trappers, as drug dealers, as hustlers. He's got the aliases going with Lil Wayne, of course, being Tunchi. And then you got Slim, which is 2 Chainz, of course. I mean, I like these. I thought it was fun to see these little gangsta personas get built up, not just in the tracks themselves, but on these little skits. And it was nice to see some narrative threads being weaved throughout this album. Although Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz didn't really capitalize on it much, it was still a fun little nod, a fun little concept they had going. And before we start talking about any songs in particular, let me just specify from the start, because this is going to be an overly negative review for an album that I view as good, which definitely will happen sometimes, but it is just because Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz are well-established artists. They have been in the game for years. And I love both of these rappers, to be honest, but neither of them has done much to advance the sound of their music, advance their musical narrative, if you will, in the last 5 to even 10 years in terms of sonic development. For the most part, new stuff they bring to the table hinges on different production styles and whatnot. As again, Wayne has been in the game for a super fucking long. 2 Chainz as well, at least, 10 to 15 years he's been here doing his thing. So despite the fact they are putting in quality verses, making quality hip-hop music here, it's just at this point, not much of this feels new to me. I would say that's my biggest complaint with this record. None of this feels new to me. It's just I don't want to say it's an unnecessary album, because it's a very cool collab, very fun album, and again, I like it. It's good, but it does not contribute anything to the Lil Wayne or 2 Chainz narrative musically, sonically. It is just another album. The first actual song, of course, the intro to the album is scene 1, but the first song, G6, is really overwhelming with a loud, blaring, blingy, and obnoxious instrumental. And this foreshadows another major problem I have with this album, which is the production selection. I think the beats that Tune and Slim choose here are really what hold this album back from being better than it is, because again, good album. But so there's like 2 to 3 good, like actually interesting instrumentals here. And then you also have a handful of annoying ones, like on G6, where Wayne and 2 Chainz both are giving pretty captivating performances here, but the beat sucks dick. It ruins the song, and I can't listen to it. The following track, Big Diamonds, also has a pretty, not as bad, but a very unenjoyable beat. Another abrasive, hype club instrumental. The production just doesn't do it for me here. But I will say 21 Savage is featured on this song. He does a great job on the chorus. He gives a good verse too, and really salvages this song for me, because again, the instrumental is not there. Crazy Thick is another major miss on this record. The beat here isn't bad. It is just very simple, baseline, generic, like some of the other ones here, just a simple trap beat. And what really brings this song down for me is Lil Wayne. Wayne at this point in his career is still an absolute legend. Don't get it twisted, but in 2023, at this point, he is known to throw down a whack verse or a whack chorus from time to time. We saw it on The Fix Before the Six. That album was pretty subpar. A lot of not great Wayne stuff there, just keeping it a buck. But here we get a pretty fucking terrible chorus where Lil Wayne is rapping about fucking big, beautiful women raw and finishing inside of them. And he is also spelling it out for you on this chorus, talking about how he fucks BBWNEWRAW, and he's still coming you. Nah. We also get a bar from Wheezy here, like, eat the bitch out, then spit my gum in it, which Again, like what the fuck's going on, Tunchi? This is a pretty whack song for the most part. I will say on the latter half, 2 Chainz does give honestly a pretty great performance here, but Wheezy really brings this track down. And again, another major miss here. Can't Believe You is another song that, again, this is a pretty good to great song. 2 Chainz performance here is captivating. I like it. But then Lil Wayne's verse, I swear to God, I swear, I don't even think he listened to the instrumental before he at all, honestly. I don't think he listened to it at all because he is not on beat fucking once here. He sounds so out of place, and I swear, he just sent 2 Chainz a little freestyle he did. 2 Chainz just threw it on the beat because, I refuse to believe that he was in the studio when this shit was mixed. There's no way. He just doesn't sound like he's supposed to be on it. It just sounds tacked on at the end, off beat as hell. And again, it's not that it's a bad verse. Wayne's rapping his ass off. He's got some good bars. It just does not at all sound good. And songs like Pressure and Crown Snatcher are fun, enjoyable, good tracks here for sure, but they don't really have much replay value for me. They don't beg you to listen to them again because, again, Wayne and 2 Chainz both have very deep catalogs at this point. So if they're not giving me anything great, and if they're not giving me anything new, I don't really have a reason to go back for it. Even a track like Millions from Now, which is a super uplifting, triumphant anthem about how 2 Chainz, he's not gonna know you $1 million from now. I think it's a super interesting way to conceptualize moving up financially in this world where he's saying the more money he gets, the more he moves on from certain different people in his life. And again, sentiment of this track is cool. It's fine, but it's not drawing me back to it. We even get Usher popping out for a pretty fucking amazing chorus on Transparency here. But again, vast catalogs, not begging me to come back and listen to it. And like I've been saying, a lot of the tracks here are run-of-the-mill, fine to good. There's only a few genuine misses here. The most of the rest of the track list is, just fine to good, even great at points, but just not stuff I'm gonna revisit. But I do have some highlights here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just here to hate. Like I said, this album is good. And there are some tracks I fucking love here. And I mean, let's kick it off with the best track on this album. No doubt we are talking about Long Story Short. I mean, it's not just the best song, it's the best instrumental, the best sample usage, the best chorus. I mean, this is peak when it comes to Welcome to Collegrove. And we just get some clever writing from Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz throughout this track. One of the stronger tracks lyrically here is, again, with Wayne and 2 Chainz, honestly, as well. You're getting good pen game throughout, a lot of great punchlines and clever bars, good rhyme schemes and stuff like that. I would say this is one of the strongest and has some of the most memorable bars for me. And 2 Chainz is great on this song, but this is Lil Wayne really steals the fucking show here. The chorus he hits is genuinely perfect. He hits every pocket in this instrumental perfectly. It gets stuck in my head every time. And I mean, yeah, this is one of those tracks where go listen to it if you haven't heard it. Honestly, this is up there for one of my favorite songs of the year. And we're deep into 2023 at this point, so that is saying something. And other than Long Story Short, I do have 3 more tracks that I really enjoyed here, and it actually comes in the form of a 3-track run, surprisingly, starting off with PPA, or what the acronym stands for, Pretty Pussy Award. And on this track, we get elegant boom bap instrumental, and just a absolutely excellent sample here again. I personally love this track. I know a lot of people probably won't because of the content matter or the name or whatever. But if you see my videos, you know me. I'm not the person who really gives a fuck like that. And I love the chorus here from 2 Chainz as well. Very slow, very mellow, as he is awarding his girl with that Pretty Pussy Award. We get a solid and sound verse from Fabulous, who I was surprised to see featured on the project in 2023. He matches the content matter of the track. And I mean, overall, this is kind of the love song of the album. Some people might look at the title and look at this and be like, this isn't a love song, but to that I say you're wrong. I think this is a beautiful song where 2 Chainz, Wheezy, Fabulous, all 3 of them are appreciating the beauty of their woman or of their woman of the night. But yeah, I think this functions as a very good slow down moment for the album. One of my favorite tracks. And the following track is Oprah and Gail, where we have a Benny the Butcher feature. So of course, that's a quality verse right there. One of the best on the album. Easy. It's fucking Benny. And this is another elegant boom bap instrumental we get with an excellent sample. Again, one of the major production highlights here. One of the only production highlights here, actually. And this is where we get some of the most clear and thoughtful writing from 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. They're giving their best bars on this track, probably trying to keep up with Benny. Also, the more slowed instrumental. And the final track in this 3-track run is Shame. And Shame is maybe not a track I'm going to revisit super often, but this was just a cool moment. This is a very cool interpolation paying homage to Shame by the Wu-Tang Clan in particular. Old Dirty Bastard as 2 Chainz interpolates his chorus very tastefully, I might add. And I mean, this is just an overload of flexes and humorous punchlines from 2 Chainz and Wayne. I would say this is one of the most witty, one of the funniest tracks on this album. Because again, with Wayne, with 2 Chainz, I would say they are both very notable for their punchlines, for their humor in their music. And this is probably the track where it comes together the best. And we get absurd flexes like Lil Wayne saying, the bezel on the watch costs more than the watch itself. But overall, it's kind of like what I said before. If you know Lil Wayne, if you know 2 Chainz, you know what you're getting here. I'm not going to sit here and delve deep into the lyricism that's predominantly about gang banging and fucking when it's not trying to be witty or clever. Because again, that is the content here, especially when we are getting these characters, Slim and Tune, characterized as drug dealers, as major weight movers. A lot of the content here is related to drug dealing and fucking. And 2 Chainz, you know what to expect. Funny bars, great track presence, great delivery. Lil Wayne, you get that eccentric personality, those super fast-paced flows where you never know what to get. And sometimes you get some weak moments on bars, but for the most part, you get some amazing quality and just a lot of super fun, memorable moments from Wheezy. The two of them come together here. It's a good time. And again, I don't think this album really does either for much of them at this point. Although, again, I think the writing here was overall pretty great. And this is where we go back to the beat selection, where I feel like if you got some elite fucking production here and you put some real thought and care into the soundscape of this album, this could easily be a great album, just given the fact that there is a little narrative theming going on. There's consistent subject matter, even if it's not super deep or substantial, it is still consistently about their come up as drug dealers. Even again, it's not super deeply about that, but the narrative is there. But for what it is, this is a solid album. It's not much more I could ask for from Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz on a collab album this year. I didn't love this album as much as I thought I was going to, but there are tracks here I'm going to revisit, and I have been having a good time with Welcome to Collegrove, even though it's not everything it could have been. And for those reasons, I'm feeling Welcome to Collegrove by 2 Chainz, by Lil Wayne, at a 6.4 out of 10. If you guys check this album out, be sure to let me know in the comments your thoughts. What do you think this means for the Carter 6? Are we looking at a possible another classic Wayne album inbound with the Carter 6? Or is this, like the fix before the 6, maybe a red flag, maybe a little warning sign that Lil Wayne might be running out of gas? Appreciate you guys checking out the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on notifications, anything you do. Any support to help me with the algorithm means the world. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.